Hi, welcome to a short presentation on expectations versus preferences. To start off with, we're just going to have a look at behaviours as a short introduction. Then we're going to get into expectations and finish on preferences. So what are behaviours? A behaviour is the end result of an interaction with an object. Not just an object, but it can be anything. A behaviour is also a series of external events. It can be internal as well, like our experiences, which can enter through one of our five senses, as in visual, auditory, kinesthetic, olfactory, and gustatory. Visual is seeing, auditory is hearing, kinesthetic is feeling, olfactory is smelling, and gustatory is taste. From here, we process this information in our minds. Generally, it's in our preferred representational sense. So if you're a visual person, you're going to represent that object or stimulus as a visual aspect. And from there, the output is a behaviour. This behaviour can be based on experiences, social norms, peer pressure, and can also be the result of an underlying medical condition, just to name a few. There are many others, but these are just a few. This sounds simple enough, but the unconscious aspect can get very complex depending on how deep you want to delve into neuroscience. So we're going to get into expectations versus preferences. So what exactly is an expectation? So an expectation is a strong belief that something will happen or will be in the case according to the person. And what is a preference? A preference is a technical term in psychology used in relation to choosing between alternatives. So someone has been given a preference for cheesecake over a banana cake, and if given an option, the person would rather choose one over the other. So A over B. So I'm going to put this into a bit of a story just so you get a bit of an understanding on the difference between expectations and preferences. And on the first one, I'm going to use an expectation just so you can get a grasp of what we're talking about. Let's say you go away for a while, and after a while you finally get home. Let's say you've been away for a month, and you may have an expectation to have sex with your partner. It's not uncommon, and it's not a bad thing. However, depending on the other person's mood, experiences, and communication during this period, they may not want it straight away. So what can potentially happen with you and your partner around this expectation behaviour? Well, if your partner has been looking after kids at home while you've been away, or has been struggling because the dog had to go to the vet, or the kids have a cold, or even your partner has been sick, and chances are your partner isn't going to be feeling sexy or ready to get into it. All they probably want to do is relax while you take care of the kids or take care of the other household chores. So what happens next? Well, we could get cranky or mad or blame our partner or maybe even become suspicious, get into paranoia that they're playing up behind our backs. And from there, we may just shut down, have a few drinks, and probably have just blown your chance for about the next 3 or 4 days for any intimacy. Apart from this, having high expectations, there are some physical effects as well that go along with this, such as headaches, fatigue from a lack of sleep because you've been up all night being cranky. You get cranky at your kids and friends easier. Do they deserve it? Of course not. You are responsible for your own behaviour after all. So, what about if we turn that expectation into a preference? What would be the difference in our approach as well as the communication rebound from the partner? So, if you had an idea that there may be a potential that your partner isn't going to be feeling great because you've actually listened to their concerns for the last few weeks, you have just set yourself up for a very neutralised response when they say, do you mind if it isn't tonight? Do you mind if I just rest? You have now successfully negated negative emotions. Congratulations. You have just avoided disaster. And what happens there is you develop rapport with that person and they feel like they're actually wanted and needed. Yes, you may have a few thoughts running around your mind saying, I really wish that would happen tonight. I've been away for a month. Oh my God, everything's about me. But you know what? There's two people in this relationship and both human. So let's have a look at some of the positive effects of preferences. Our lives become more harmonious. Our families are not afraid of a spontaneous mood change. We breed a positive culture. And this reflects upon our kids as well, because our kids take upon it themselves as a sponge. They pick up on all these micro behaviours and demonstrate them either at school or later on in life. The atmosphere at home is more positive, and you take away any fear-based relationship that you have with your family and friends. We stop trying to control everything, because if you do try to control everything, then we lead stressful lives. Stuff happens. It is what it is. And as the old saying goes, we flow with the river, and around the rock, we don't fight against it. So I hope you've enjoyed this presentation, and leave your comments below, or you can jump over to my website and contact me directly at www.braindrive.com.au.